When you're leading a team and missing your targets, it can be such a stressful time for any manager. You can feel like everyone's looking to you for all the answers, and it can also be tricky to work out what to do. So in this video, I'm going to share 4 tips that will help you work out what to do, how to manage your team and your manager, and help you be resilient in what is or can be a very stressful situation. Now, from my experience, we all have times when the performance doesn't match our ambition and our plans, and it doesn't feel good because we all want to win, don't we? And when this happens, I've seen people calmly refocus their teams and get them back on track. And I've seen teams fragment into recrimination and blame. I've seen teams holding their heads up high and working their socks off to address the situation. And even if they don't get where they wanted to be, they know they could have done no more. And I've seen teams just give up. When we're missing our targets, I think it's a real test of leadership. Knowing what to do, how to motivate and guide your team differentiates strong leaders from weak ones. And for every manager, this will come to their door at some time. So getting clear on the actions that make a difference will help you cope better. My name is Helen Bryant. I am a leadership trainer and a coach, and I'm on a mission to help managers everywhere lead better, thrive in their roles, and create a better workplace for all. Here on YouTube, I share practical lessons and tips on managing and leading and getting the best out of your team. So if this sounds like something you need, then click on the subscribe. In my corporate career, I've had times when we've been on an absolute roll, when everything seems to just come together. Our hard work has been rewarded and we've nailed every target in sight. But I've also had times that despite all that hard work, when our numbers have just not come in and we have missed our targets, I've chased the year-end target more often than I care to think. And I felt that stress that rises through your body every time you get updated on another piece of bad news that just makes that target seem further away. It is the nature of the beast, especially in uncertain times like we live and work in now. Therefore, developing the skills to lead your team through that situation and cope with the stress is vitally important to you. So let's leap into what to do if you are missing your targets. Step 1 is to identify the issues that are holding you back. Now, importantly here is to recognise, are we looking at symptoms or have we identified the root causes? It is easy to sometimes see the symptoms, the obvious issues bubbling on the surface, and identify the missing of the targets to those symptoms. But it is really important to drill down and check that, is that the real issue or is the real issue deeper down? Now, things to do here, 2 things. 1, start by asking others, including your team, but also key stakeholders, and try and differentiate between a point of view, which may be quite subjective, and the facts. Focus on the facts. So you keep asking, what is the real issue here? You can also use a technique which is known as the 5 whys, which works on the basis that if you start with asking, why is this? And then ask, why is this again? And go down 5 times. You naturally come down to what the root causes are, or you'll just get to a point where the answer is, because it is. And what you'll often find if you do this exercise of 5 whys is that as you dig down, especially if there are several symptoms, they start to connect. And that's when you know you're really identifying the root causes. So step 1, really understand what the issues are that are holding you back. Step 2, you have to galvanise your team behind a refocused plan. Things have changed, and often you find if you start to miss that motivation and confidence in the plan goes down, and as a result accountability can also slide. People can give up. So galvanising everybody behind a new refocused plan that still gets you potentially to the same target is important. Now, you may find here you're going to have to really get creative. What kind of things can we do? Good questions to ask here are, how can we questions that really get people thinking through different scenarios of how you can achieve certain goals. You need to be crystal clear on your goals as outcomes so that everybody has the same view of what it is. And then your plan needs to break it down into steps so that you can move step by step. Now, do involve your team in creating this solution. Don't feel like you need to know all the answers and come up with a plan. When you're being creative, your team may find great solutions and may have a different perspective from you that may well work and help move you forward. So involve your team. It is a team challenge, not just a your challenge. And don't feel like you need to know all the answers. As you break your plan down and recreate this plan, I think it really helps to bring transparency to the targets and the progress against them. So leveraging your digital tools, because what you want to create is a feeling of momentum, that we still can do this, that we can still get further forward, and having that collective place in which you look and share progress can really help create that in your team. And make sure, even when it's stressful, to celebrate every step forward, as that further encourages accountability and trust and a belief that you can get there. Now, at this time, one-to-ones are absolutely vital, because these are moments that you spend with each individual member of your team where you can focus on their part of the challenge of achieving the goals, where you can give support, encourage accountability, and help them work through any challenges that they may personally have. I've already created resources on what makes the most effective one-to-ones. They're all linked below. And if this is something that you think might help you, then check them out. Step 3 is to manage expectations. Now, it's easy when things aren't going quite as well as you want them to do, to be scared of sharing bad news. So you have people who want to just keep working away quietly, working, and hope that they pull the rabbit out of the hat and show everybody everything's fine, nothing to see here. As time goes by, if you're missing goals, that gap can get bigger and bigger, but more importantly, the options for filling that gap become less and less. So it's really important to adapt quickly to the changing performance. And it's important to keep your stakeholders informed of what is going on and what you are doing about it. By stakeholders, I mean in particular your manager and anyone else who is a key stakeholder in your plan and work. So who are the people and functions that you have strong interdependencies with? And importantly, you don't want to just share the problem. What you want to do is you need to share your plan as well. You need to be seen as a proactive problem solver by your stakeholders. And this management of communication can make such a difference in building trust in your plan. Now, if you struggle to work out how do I do this, it's good to plan out how you will say it. And I think your script sounds something like this. I would reference, so our original goal was to, and explain quickly what it was, and then explain the situation. What has changed? And this is where you would explain the issues, but in particular, the root causes of why your performance is not where you want it to be. So as you share those issues, you want to also reference the level of risk that this now gives you. Is this manageable, or is this actually very difficult for you to now get back to? And as hard as that is, it helps whoever you're sharing this with realize the level of risk and the severity of the issues that you now face. What you then want to do is share what your plan is. So what are the priorities that you now need to do, and then the detail of your plan. Then it's important to ask what they think about it, because you want to check, have you missed anything? Because people from a different area of the organisation may see the situation differently, and they may also see opportunities for you that you may have missed, and you need to be open to that. I think sometimes we forget that everybody in our organisation is on our side, because in the day-to-day politics and communication, it doesn't always feel like that. But the more that you build these these relationships up over time and keep good, strong, open communication going, it means it's easier to have these conversations when the conversation may be a bit more tough. So remember that, manage expectations to both your manager and your key stakeholders. It can be a very stressful time when we're missing our targets. So step 4 is to get support to build resilience. Firstly, for yourself. I think the biggest message I can tell you is don't hold it all in. Don't take all this pressure on yourself. You need to think about who can you go and talk to, particularly who could help you get another perspective on where you are now, or who could you go to who will support you, or even who do you go to just to have a good laugh with and release the tension and the pressure. People around you in your network are your main source of support and as a result resilience. And therefore your network is really important to you at this time, and you need to proactively use it. For your team, I think it's a case of moving from the mindset of what is wrong and removing any blame, and really encouraging an open environment and a learning environment. What can you learn? What can you do differently to improve the situation or next time? The more you can create a safe, open environment for your team to share what they think and a strong learning culture, the more you will build resilience across your team and for yourself. Now, you can't do this overnight. It's something you need to work on constantly. But the more that culture is there in your team, the better you will be able to cope with these more stressful times when the performance isn't where you want it to be. If you have any questions or comments on what I've shared, please put them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them, or you can reach out to me on my social. My links are here. If you found this video useful, please like, subscribe and ring the bell so that you get notified of each and every one of my video lessons. I especially appreciate your likes and subscribes, as it helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps other managers like you find this channel and the resources that I'm sharing. So until next time, I hope you're hitting your targets. Take care.